Parnell, let's look at the reopening plan in New South Wales. The rates are continuing to grow, the vaccination rates. That's the one bright spot we see from these current lockdowns. But is this a reality that every state at some point is going to have to confront?
I think so, and I think they're very lucky to be able to watch New South Wales in this process, because New South Wales has developed a roadmap which is the perfect mix of moves to get us forward and out of this pandemic nightmare. So it's giving us hope that this can come to an end within weeks. It's incentivising people to get jabbed in order to come to that conclusion. And at the same time, it's giving a little bit of leeway to relax restrictions earlier, we all hope, or a bit later if, God forbid, we don't reach those vaccination targets in time.
Yeah, and that hope that you talk about, I think, is so central to it, Parnell. And Stephen, to you on that, the incentive to get vaccinated, the hope to say if you do, there will be a return. As Andrew Clennell reported earlier in the program, though, there's more caution, as you would expect from the health advisors, Stephen.
Oh, look, I'm shocked to see Andrew's exclusive. You know, that advice, that document is a bombshell. What it shows is that the politicians absolutely dismissed the advice that they've always said we follow the advice. They've completely thrown the Chief Medical Officer, Kerry Chant, under a bus. I'm shocked she's still in her job. I can't believe she's still working for people who have rejected every sensible precaution. I think Kerry Chant proposed an excellent roadmap out of the lockdowns because she knows that 70% is too early. She knows that 70% is really only 56% of the population of Australia. That is too early for the level of restrictions to be lifted that is being proposed by the New South Wales government. 80% doesn't even get you up to about 65% of our population. She also had a swipe saying, I want kids between 12 and 16 included in this count. And so she's been talking about 85% as the moment of safety, because that's what Israel has now realised. They opened up too early, around the 70% number. They opened too early. The UK opened too early. And they're now in trouble again. So Kerry Chant's sensible, cautious, bringing New South Wales out of the lockdowns was the path forward. But the politicians, Gladys, all she cares about is her popularity. So I want to make lots of nice announcements today.
Parnell, the Prime Minister welcomed that, though, didn't he? He was very supportive of the Premier's approach, saying it was honouring the deal that National Cabinet did with the Australian people.
And I think that's right. The Australian people needs to see a roadmap out of this. And I would say that Labor really risks becoming the party of lockdowns by constantly pushing for higher and higher thresholds to lift restrictions that have had so many flow-on effects on the Australian people. It's not just a life saved when we lock down and stay at home for all of this time. There are people who are suffering, whose mental health is suffering, whose businesses are going to the wall, who are going to never recover from this period. And it's a really callous sort of way of looking at it to just focus on the COVID death that might be saved from this, when we know that the number of excess deaths in Australia is extremely low, actually negative at this point.